Hey guys, I know that we're all waiting for the Tides of Torment and matching updates to the game. That should be coming out here very, very soon. But before that happens, there are a few more mods that I want to finish doing my testing on and do some reviews of. But each one of those does take a little while between the amount of time it takes to do the testing, to become familiar enough with the mod to know what I'm talking about, and then, of course, to record the video and do the editing on it. Anyway, it takes a little while to do each one of those. And so, in the meantime, what I thought I might do here is why not make a slightly ridiculous opinion video that absolutely nobody will like and will no doubt cost me tons of subs. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. But the reason is because I'm just curious, does anyone else do weird stuff like this? And what I'm talking about is, does anyone else have completely quirky and illogical ways to pick their campaigns like I do? I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of mine, and I'm just curious if anybody else does this as well. So here are a few examples. The first category that I'm going to talk about are aesthetic reasons to pick a campaign or not pick a campaign. And the first guy that I want to talk about is, of course, Greasus Goldtooth. So in all the time I've been playing Warhammer 3, I have never once played a Greasus Goldtooth campaign. And the reason is because I don't like the way he looks and his animation. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something about this guy that just turns me off, so I have just never felt compelled to play him. And with all of the other choices that are available, I've just never bothered to get around to it. Conversely, there are trivial things that draw me towards some of the legendary lords. So, for example, I love the dialogue with Skarsnik, all the little things that he says. His, "you want schemes, I got schemes," and even just his laugh. I just love him. And just to show that I am completely inconsistent and change my mind from time to time, here's another example. For the longest time, Scarbrand was a big turnoff for me with his seemingly childish blood, skulls. I mean, I don't mind RPing evil, but this was just a bit too much for me until I learned more about his lore and discovered that he wasn't always this simpleton, but rather it's actually punishment by the blood god, and suddenly it made a whole lot more sense. And now, of course, I love playing Scarbrand. Well, I shouldn't say I love playing. I enjoy aspects of his campaign. Okay, so the second category that I want to talk about is mood. It depends what kind of a mood I'm in. So sometimes I'm in the mood for a chill campaign, and then other times I'm in the mood for a more intensely challenging one. Sometimes I'm in the mood for really strong, expensive units, which let you fight against waves of weaker enemies, and sometimes the reverse, where I'm using crap stacks like goblins or nurglings or skeletons, which are weak but plentiful. And then sometimes I'm in the mood for a defensive, build up your infrastructure and walls campaign, which I really like the deep roads mechanics that they've added to the dwarves, for example. I think they epitomize that play style. Of course, I'm also drawn to Nurgle. But then other times, I like the more aggressive campaigns where you're in the Batman, some people just want to watch the world burn, so like the Beastmen here. That's a mentality that I don't really want to reflect too much on why I have those particular moods. It's probably not super healthy, but anyway, there it is. Sometimes I'm in the mood for this kind of a campaign. And then for the last category, I want to talk about one of the really insane ways that I pick campaigns. For me, there are certain campaigns that you play in the daytime when it's light outside, and there are certain campaigns that you play at night when it's dark. And I think the most obvious example of that is Order versus Chaos. So, for example, it feels wrong playing Tyrion at midnight or Archaon on a sunny afternoon. Just feels wrong to me. And then I generally only play Skaven at night and Dwarfs during the day, for example. And then to kind of add on top of that, certain parts of the world feel like daytime campaigns to me versus nighttime campaigns. So Chaos Waste campaigns are for the night, and Cathay campaigns are for the day, Nagaroth campaigns are for the night, and Ulthuan campaigns are for the day, and so on. In my defense, there is a little bit of method to this madness where my computer is actually located in a room where I get glare on the screen when it's sunny outside, which makes darker things harder to see. So anyway, that's my justification for it. And then, of course, sometimes I'm conflicted where things like I like to think of Kislev as a day faction, but then you have Boris Ursus, who is located in the Chaos Wastes, which is, of course, where I normally think of being a night campaign. And then, of course, I don't know what to do. So yeah, a little bit quirky. And what I'm kind of hoping is that there's at least a few other people who do the same sort of thing, so that I'm not all alone when it comes to this sort of a thing. I'm sure there are other reasons as well, but those are the first ones that I thought about, and I think that that's enough for you to get the general idea. So now that I have revealed a little of my own personal madness, it's time for you to also. What's the weirdest quirk that makes you choose to play or not play a particular legendary lord? I'm looking forward to hearing some of those, but anyway, for now, I'll just go ahead and say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.